Hello and welcome to the Gone Traveling podcast. We are looking at the BKT EuroCup, the road to greatness, the road to the EuroLeague. We have come to a close. We, being myself, David Hein, High News, and taking the charge, Substack, and Marco Munno, communication specialist and collaborator with La Giornata Tipo. Marco, we have a champion. We have a EuroCup champion, and that is Cosea JL Bourg-en-Bresse. How you doing?
Well, it's fine, and also we had the occasion to enjoy really a fun final series. Only if you're not the supporter of Besiktas, but and also we have the occasion to witness history not only for the winner but for the way Berg wins. So that's really another thrilling moment for uh, the competition that really enrich the value of EuroCup of this season.
Yeah. So Borg sweep Besiktas, which both of us had. We knew that was going to happen. Um, I think you picked a Besiktas sweep, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah, and
Yes.
I had Besiktas winning 2-1, having to take both home games to get it. Borg, we'll get to the games a little in a in a couple minutes or whatever. But Borg took down Besiktas at home in Turkey. Their first loss for Besiktas at home in the Euro Cup this season. Not the most opportune time to have that loss, and then finish the deal uh, on a Adam Mokoka layup with 1.1 seconds left to make it to the EuroLeague. This will be their EuroLeague debut next season. They had 6 seasons in the Euro Cup, including losing 2-0 in the 2024 series to fellow French side Paris. Borg, if you're not aware, in 2017 they were promoted to the Pro A in France from the second division and made their debut internationally back in 2021. Like we said, they did reach the finals in 2024, losing to Paris. And this is the third French team to win the Euro Cup, and all of them since the 2021 season. That was Monaco in 21, Paris in 24, and now Borg. So 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. So half of the champions of this competition in the last 6 years have come from France. Besiktas hoping to become the first Turkish champion since Darüşşafaka back in 2018. Bursaspor lost in the finals in 2022, and Turk Telekom Ankara lost in the 2023 finals. And we in the semifinals preview, like chances are pretty good that a Turkish team would win the championship. 3 Turkish teams in the semifinals. But Besiktas, Başakşehir, and Turk Telekom are all looking up at Borg and saying, "Oh, we had a missed opportunity," and so now, um, yeah. Adam Mokoka was named the MVP, deservedly so, and I'm really happy for Kevin Kakila because he was the only remaining player from that 2024 finals team and really was the only player back from the team last season. And so him being able to hoist that trophy with the guys must have been an amazing moment. Let's jump in right away. Game one was on February 22nd. It was in Besiktas. Like we said, Besiktas had been undefeated at the BJK Gain Sports Complex. They got shut down 72-60, season low in points. Adam Mokoka, 14 points. Asim Molare, 13 points. Vincent Mitchell, 11. Tajan Aji, 10. Um, I'll let you go at it, and then I'll respond to what you have to say. Let's see really quick. Leading scorer for Besiktas was Anthony Brown with 14 and 4 3-pointers, and Ante Zizic had 13 and 8 rebounds. So there you go. What were your thoughts on the opening game?
Well, when we talked about it into the preview, we said that the main problem, the main difference maker could be Zizic because of his importance in the Besiktas system and also the maybe the lack of interior presence, uh, at least one-on-one for Berg. So in the first game, Berg tried to leave out the two factors that can really bring Besiktas to a victory. So, number one, the disease domination on the paint. So they really uh, s- mm, try to stuff the paint and leave some shots to the guards, preventing maybe Zizic to catch a lot. And that's what happened. The guards were really missing a lot of shots, probably because of pressure, because you have to. You were unbeaten on a house on your own court, and you're the favorite, and you know you have to win. So they had that problem, and only sometimes into the second quarter, in which into the central part of the game, in which Berg tried to be a little more aggressive on the guards. They always find Zizic on the interior, so that remains the key of the game. Avoid the ball to go inside and leave something to the guards, and the bet paid off. And also, thing is that if you play face to face an open game into the home court of Besiktas, you will end up probably lose. And along the this whole season, Besiktas never lost at home. So you have to slow down and just not let the crowd, let the fans go into the game and support them. So Berg was really going slow with the whole game, and Besiktas didn't really click because they tried sometimes to fire themselves up, but the game was already on the on the pace that Berg wanted, and at the end Besiktas scored only 60. That is not only their season low, but is also very low, and with that personnel is so low. And I think Berg was really able to steal this up without allowing Besiktas really to play their Besiktas game.
Yeah. So it was, Zizic only had 3 points in the first half, and then they were down by 11 early in the third quarter, and then he finally scored, and he had ended up having 8 points and then went out, and then after that, they built that lead back up to 14 after three quarters, and then it was 18 with 7 minutes left. Um, Besiktas was able to come back a little bit. They got it back down to seven with some big threes, down to seven with 3 minutes left, and then a guy that I've totally enjoyed watching Asim Malari play all season, and he showed once again that he can really play in big moments. It's a guy who's been playing for the Cote d'Ivoire Ivory Coast national team for already, I think, 5 years or something like that. Even though he's only, um, I don't think he's more than 22, if that. I'll take a look right now. But he had 10 of his 13 points in the final 2 minutes and 13 seconds. So, a fantastic performance by him. You mentioned them. You mentioned them kind of, packing the paint. Um, Besiktas just couldn't shoot outside. They only made 20%. Free throws, they didn't help themselves either, making only 9 of 18, 50%. Okay, they didn't shoot that many necessarily with 18, but it's still, that's 9 points where they would have been able to get, closer, Okay, yeah, Millar's 23. Um, you know, we talk we talked about a lot of guys. For those who have been with the podcast all season, every week we picked players to talk about games, and we talked a lot about Borg this season. But I wanted to actually highlight a couple of guys that we didn't talk about, I don't think, one time this year, at least as the focus of the game to get there. And that was Vincent Mitchell and Tajon Agi. Mitchell had 11 points. Agi had 10 points. Agi hit two, right? Didn't he hit two threes, or did he even hit three threes? Yeah, two threes. And those big bodies, um, I had Besiktas winning the thing and Zizic being MVP. And for those guys to help Kakila, who was in foul trouble a lot of the game, for those guys to come off the bench and really perform, for me, those guys were, let's say, the first three-quarter MVPs, co-MVPs of the game, and then Mulari finished it off. And then Mokoka was just doing his thing the whole time. What do you think?
Well, I think, yeah, Mulare at the end was really the guy that really iced it, because Besiktas at the end was trying to tie the game, was already there, and when if they gets there in the house, it seems like the redemption along the whole game can be completed. They would have better chance to end up winning because you're on a roll and so on. But I think, yeah, if you watch the whole game and also the whole series, when we had that big problem, you have to find answers, even if you don't have the same answers. So they really stepped up when it matters the most.
Yep. All right. So that was game one, game two, back in France, and February 28th. So just 2 days ago, and Borg won. They won 73-71. Had a 10-point lead late in the first quarter. Besiktas came back, big second quarter with a 11-0 run. And then, you know, Borg came back with sort of energy plays. It was a big three-pointer at the buzzer by Agi, big dunk by Mokoka. And they had the 5-point lead with 100 seconds left. And then, Mr. Matthews, who we've talked about a lot this year, hits a big three. He was there all game and tied it up. And then 71-71, 15.5 seconds left after the three-pointer. Adam Mokoka breaks down Anthony Brown, streaks past him for the layup off the glass with 1.1 seconds. Apparently, the first time ever that finals has been decided on a game winner like that. So that's kind of a cool moment. Kokila was, fantastic. He rebounded from his foul troubles in the first game, 18 and 6. Mokoka with 17 and 10. Mitchell and Agi, both had big moments too. And so I really wanted to mention both of those guys again. And at the other end, Matthews 18 points, Zizic 14 and 8, and Brinton Lamar 13 points, but not enough for Besiktas. Thoughts about game two in France and to give Borg the title?
Well, we mentioned rebounds, and it was the game, the key of the game, the offensive rebounds that a lot of times gave Borg another chances to score, and also the when Besiktas tied the game, it came from an offensive rebound as well, because there was another dribble that was missed, and it came the offensive rebound and the kick out for Matthews for the tie. And I think the offensive rebounds are the result of the energy that Berg put out on the game. It seems like it was another approach of the game compared to game one from Berg, that want to go straight to the heart of Besiktas from the beginning, being more aggressive and trying to take profit to the pressure that Besiktas had to win the game, and also getting the crowd behind them, because the chance to close it at home was so good. And also you don't want to go and play another time into the Besiktas home court losing a game. So Borg was really aggressive from the beginning. They put a lot of energy, and Besiktas was a bit stunned at the beginning. They started to miss other shots again, and also the result of the energy of Berg was seen, for instance, on the offensive rebounds and the second chances. So even if you are not perfect on the execution, you will have other chances. And so you also for the if you're Besiktas, you feel like you have to defend more times on the opponent. And so that's what happened. Like, Berg was in control of the game, the second part, except the moment that they were tied. So at the end, it happened like with Mokoka as the hero, but I think it was well deserved that Berg won game two. If you see it all into the his whole curse.
Yeah, I mean one of the things I noted down for me that I wanted to talk about, we talked about how deep Besiktas was, star power, going really far down into their roster. Borg showed they're not too bad either, I mean, they got some massive contributions. We mentioned Agi, we mentioned Mitchell. McDowell White was really strong the entire tournament, the entire season, really, the entire playoffs. Larry comes off the bench, Lindo, you look at Lindo, right? And you see only 2 points. This is in game two, only 2 points on two free throws, but seven rebounds, four of those offensive rebounds, four assists, two steals, and he had an 11 PIR, little stuff, and you think about it. If you had told me, right, I had Botch Gatch as the MVP of the semifinals. We haven't mentioned him yet. We didn't mention him yet. This is the first time we're mentioning him in the finals. He had nine. What do you have? So he had nine, 4, and 2 in game one, and in game two, he had 7, 3, and 2. But he was working his butt off defensively because he has that athleticism, and that's the beauty of this team. The Darius McGee, we haven't mentioned him at all either. And that's one of the things I was, depending on, wondering what your thoughts are. Um, McGee really didn't play much of a role. A couple passes down the stretch a little bit, but in deciding the game, uh, game game one. Let's see, yeah, game one he had 6 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. Game two, 3 points with just 5 shots, 3 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 turnovers. So McGee really, we had McGee as a sort of a season. I was really thinking highly of him, but he kind of got us exposed a little bit with his size and stuff like that. So this 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 Borg team was a lot deeper than I think people kind of gave them credit for, and now they're into the EuroLeague. thoughts about, we've been talking about Borg as one of the the top challengers as well. Your thoughts about them now, going into the EuroLeague. Right now the future of Asvel and Monaco are kind of unclear. Paris, of course, will be there next season. If all four do go, I mean, if Asvel and Monaco stay, you'd have four teams from France in the EuroLeague. Um, Besiktas still kind of unclear. I hear that there's somehow ways of maybe trying to get them in. Who knows? Everything right now is up in the air. But your thoughts about Borg, where they're at right now? Obviously, this Borg team as is cannot really compete necessarily in the EuroLeague. The EuroLeague is a different beast than the EuroCup. The team is right now Borg fourth in the French division, in the Pro A with I looks like 2 rounds left. Right now they're in fourth, tied for fourth with Asvel. And so they, obviously hoping that they can have home court advantage in the playoffs. But your thoughts about Borg and maybe what it mean what do you think they can maybe do? Obviously, they're going to have to make changes and check on seeing what their budget looks like and everything like that. But your thoughts on Borg?
Yes, we will talk about EuroLeague without knowing really what will happen. Also for the French team, because potentially we will have four French team. That is really a lot as a representation, but we don't really know if it will happen. For sure, I think they have to stick, for instance, with Fatou, with the coach that
Without a doubt. Oh,
also.
I mean, I don't think he's going anywhere.
And think that his approach was really winning for the beginning, highlighting the stars and also getting out contribution for people that you don't really expect, but it seems like they were all glued all together, and we can see the finals in which the some of the stars was really shining, but a lot of people made contribution and were really get well used by the coach, by the whole system. And I think Berger have to bring this kind of mentality and maybe take the example of Paris, or at least the good example of getting involved a lot of guys, but also they have to strength with some stars that can really carry the team in the moment in which you have to be clutch at the EuroLeague level, because at EuroCup level, the whole team was really able to express their best when they were needed. The thing that we always mention different guys also as game winners guys. Sometimes Gak, we had McGee, we have Mokoka at the end. We talked about Mulare, uh, was the ability of the coach to highlight the strength of the group, and they have to bring that kind of strength, that kind of deep of depth, taking from the inside, adding one or two star players, depending on the budget, if they want to, uh, mm, not being the last in the EuroLeague. And it's obvious that it depends on the budget, but I think that kind of the sense of being together is the best thing that they can bring on the upper level.
Yeah. You said two or three. They're gonna have to do more than that. Bring in more EuroLeague level players. And coach, come bringing back coach. I mean, all right. In theory, I guess you could say that he um, that he could be snatched away. I mean, you think about it. He brought Borg to the finals and then won the
Yes.
title 2 years later. He's been there since 2022. I don't know his contractual situation. He used to be an assistant coach at At Asvel. So he won seven championships, French league championships and three cups during his time with Paul Arthez, and won two French league championships with Asvel before coming over to Borg. Maybe Asvel says, come on over. Here's a boatload of money. Um, and he's the French national team coach, and so obviously he has a huge standing in France. I can't imagine him going anywhere else but France. So that there's at least that. But with French, but with a possibility of four French teams in the EuroLeague next year, I kind of, when you said that they have to, make sure they keep him first, I'm like, of course he's going to stay, but the reason I think he'll stay is also because he wants to see what he's able to do with this team that he knows. If he goes somewhere else, he's going to be, there's going to be a lot more pressure. Obviously, there's a lot of pressure with him as the national team coach, but I think he'd kind of like to, to see at least that first year, what he's able to do with this team that he's, with this club that he's brought to so much success, and then kind of go from there and see what else. That's sort of my thought. And Besiktas?
You have to recover. I think they will have the ambition next year, but they have to see the whole situation before speaking because you have to see the direction of the EuroLeague and then the direction of the EuroCup. I think that that was really a very important chance to do it, and next year you will have to face again probably other Turkish team that wants to be there, and so yeah. I think at the end of the season they will have to see the whole picture because if they focus on the occasion that they lost now, it will be kind of gray. So let's think at the end of the season also because you have the domestic league and it's um, a very difficult one with the Fenerbahce, with the FS, but you can find a window to maybe also to be a little of a surprise. So you have to focus on that because also you got Turk Telecom, you got BKT, you got Galatasaray. So you can end up really bad if you're not connected to the playoff moments into your domestic league. That would be really, getting too bad for them that were the finalists. So not really, they got only one team better than them.
Yeah, but that one team ended up going, gets to go to the EuroLeague. That's what everybody wanted. So it's a hard one to swallow, knowing that you might have to do it all again next year. And um, I'm just trying to see somewhere I saw that there was a sort of wondering about them maybe getting into the EuroLeague next year, but I can't find anything right now. So yeah, no, I can't find it. All right, so great season, loads of fun. It's been a joy. This is our last show. We're not going to have any other shows. I want to thank Marco for jumping on this year. Obviously, third season that I've done this and third different person that I'm doing it with. Had a lot of fun all season and appreciate him. Obviously, we both appreciate everything that the listeners were able to do for us. Give us motivation. It's fun to even though we're kind of just out there talking to the whatever it is, blogosphere, podcastosphere, whatever. It's been a joy, Marco. Thanks. I really appreciate it. With this, I will let you go. You don't have to worry about the Euro Cup anymore. But thank you
Uh,
very much for coming on board. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for the opportunity, and thanks for all the guys that was listening through the podcast all the season.
And with that, we will call it a season 2025-26, the BKT Euro Cup. Cosea and JL Bourg-en-Bresse are the champions, sweeping Besiktas GAIN Istanbul in the finals to make it to the EuroLeague for the first time in club history. Thank you to everybody who has listened to the show all season, or just one time, or three times, however much. It's been very much appreciated, and we'll catch you next season. This has been the Gone Traveling podcast, looking at the BKT Euro Cup. Thank you.